Back in June, I had the opportunity to test a brand new e-moto called the Champ. The Champ is from a manufacturer called Superhuman. If you haven't heard of them before, that's because they mainly make e-bikes, and this is the first venture into the e-moto class. The Champ features a 72-volt 38 amp hour battery, has a claimed peak power of about 7,200 watts, has a claimed top speed of 55 mile an hour, and will cost around $5,200. So obviously this thing is being built and priced to compete with the likes of the Soren Lightbee, the Talaria Sting, and of course the new benchmark, the E-Ride Pro SS. Superhuman is a company that is based out of San Diego, and their CEO Rob came all the way out to my neck of the woods in the Beaumont boonies to get some feedback on the bike. I would like to mention this is not a sponsored video, I'm not being paid to say good things about it, so this is just my honest opinion on the prototype bike. While I'm definitely not the best rider in the world, I have ridden enough of these to tell a good one from a bad one, so hopefully I was able to provide some good enough feedback. Please leave a comment down below, let me know what you think about the Champ, and yeah, here's how it went. Alright, what's up, Rob?
What up, dude?
This is Rob from Superhuman. He's asked me to come test ride his new bike. I mean, the first thing that stood out to me was the mullet setup and the chunkier motocross rear tires and the brakes. So this does look pretty serious, dude. Alright, so I'm on board. Soft in the front, a little firm in the back. It's got a little bit of get up to it. It's not too bad. I like the mullet setup. The front's a little nervous, and it's like not as powerful as the E-Ride. Then again, not many right now is. Front's a little nervous. Not too bad. I like the feeling in the back. That's why I love a mullet setup. It's got real thick tires back there, so I appreciate that. All right, heading uphill. See how fast we can go. 41 miles an hour, sorry. Fairly stable. Brakes are good, dude. Liking these brakes. Tossing this around. Yeah, this is very flickable. I actually like this thing. It's pretty good. Now, obviously, one thing that makes every e-bike better is more power, so that was obviously something I'd like to see more of, but still not too bad. Let's see how quickly we can get. It's up to 52. Into the fast left-hander. And into the soft stuff. All right, this is going to be the rough section right here. Now the back suspension on this is quite firm, so we'll see how it does. Yeah, it's very firm, especially for my weight, about 160 pounds. Almost tucked the front there. Yeah, front's pretty nervous, but thankfully has enough power so you can kind of correct the front with the back end. See how it does on this turn. Yeah, not too bad, man. This is pretty decent. This is not a bad first go. It's not unstable. I would not describe this as unstable. I've definitely ridden worse. But one of the things that I like about, say, the E-Ride, which is definitely the benchmark for bikes in this price range right now, is how stable it is at speed. Like, it's rock solid. And this isn't too bad. I'd say still a little more R&D in that side of things. But apart from that, it's definitely fun. It's got plenty of get up and go. I like how it sounds, too. Whoa. This is definitely very good for a prototype, I have to say. Suspension, wrist shock is very firm, like you can't get around that, but that can be easily adjusted. As far as I know, the factory version of these bikes is going to come with this mullet tire setup, which I think is awesome. Front end stability is a little questionable. That's one thing that I think could be worked on a bit. Brakes are strong as well. No fade, again, still prototype. Who knows what's actually going to be on the factory version of these bikes. Pegs, while they are super small, surprisingly, not too bad. Woo!
Dude, you're fast.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty, like, for a prototype, I'm quite impressed. You know, I guess, like, for criticism's sake, because you're looking for feedback. Front end stability, not bad, but could be better. Okay. I'd say maybe play with the rake and trail a little bit. If you get a softer shock, that'll kind of open it up a little bit more, so it could be a little bit more stable. I guess the thing I dislike the most is how firm that shock is, but that can easily be adjusted. Things I like, mullet setup, dude. That's how you do it. Like, it makes such a big difference between rear end handling. Like, I can slide this thing. I feel the back kick out, and it's stable, you know. Front end stability is probably the weakest point. I can easily sense this thing tucking on me, but thankfully it has enough power to where I can kind of force it out of a front end slide. More power is always better, but it's adequate. I'd say it's more powerful than some of the other bikes in this price range, but compared to the E-Ride, which you're on, which is the benchmark right now, it's not quite there, but it's plenty. I'd say for an intermediate rider, this is plenty. It's pretty good. Like, genuinely, I like this thing. This is pretty good. Man, I do love living out here. I'm so grateful to have all these trails right behind my house. It makes my job really easy because all I got to do is just turn on a bike, ride half a mile, and I'm at these beautiful trails. One downside is the rattlesnakes. There's a lot of them out here and they will come and ruin your fucking day. How's the battery doing so far? Currently I'm at 86%. That's pretty good. I've been kind of pinning this thing for a couple miles now. 86%. That's really good. I hope that's true. All right, dude, so we're gonna do a drag race. The man over there is on the E-Ride. That is the fastest one, I think, here. It feels like the end of a movie right now. You know what I mean? Sun's behind us. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Bah, there goes the E-Ride. Apparently I'm doing 60, 62. Woo! This thing is pretty quick, dude. I mean, the speedo could be off. That is also very common with these bikes. It doesn't feel like I'm doing 60, but I don't know. I'm just happy.
So if you made it this far in the video, you've watched the part where I rode it and given the feedback on the bike. So let's dive a little bit deeper into how it felt. So let's talk about the power first of all. It is definitely not as powerful as the E-Ride Pro SS. I'd say it's a bit quicker than the Sauron Lightbee, maybe a bit quicker than the Talaria Sting. But the most important thing regarding power is, can 14-year-olds in the suburbs wheelie this thing? And the answer is yeah. Now, it doesn't wheelie as easily as, say, the E-Ride, where you can just pick up the front at 15 miles an hour and just go a million miles. You have to wheelie it the same way you wheelie a Sauron Lightbee. You have to get to a pretty low speed and then pop it up to get to the balance point. But people who have the wheelie gift should have no problem getting on the back wheel and impressing all the neighborhood kids. The overall handling of the bike was pretty good. The suspension was a little bit firm, but I love the tires, I love the mullet setup. The bike is roughly the same size as, say, like a CRF 150, and the overall handling is much more dirt bike than, say, the E-Ride, which feels like a juiced up mountain bike. One thing I would like to mention that I don't think I really covered in the footage that I filmed was how good the range was. Now, I didn't do a full range test, I don't have any numbers, facts, and figures of bullshit on it, but I do remember looking down at it and thinking, damn, that's pretty good. Overall, man, I had a lot of fun with the Champ. Now, obviously it is the prototype, so don't take my word on this bike until we get the customer version. All of what I'm saying is gonna be off the record until I get the customer bike. It's not the most powerful, it's not the best handling, it is their first generation of this bike, but if they keep making improvements and take the critiques to heart, I think they'll have a pretty good bike on their hands. Drop a comment down below, let me know what you think about the Champ, and goodbye.